Okay, so I just finished the newest episode of Doctor Who, Dot and Bubble, and I think this was the best episode of the season. This was incredibly strong. There are some little plot holes here and there, but overall, this was like a really, really solid episode. It definitely felt incredibly Black Mirror inspired, and I'm like looking back at the season, I'm like, this season kind of felt a bit Black Mirror inspired, I guess. Like Boom could have been a Black Mirror episode, 73 Yards could have been a Black Mirror episode, obviously with heavy adjustments, but like I feel like this episode was the most like clear that okay, like Russell is borrowing a lot of influence from Black Mirror for this season. I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think combining the nature of Doctor Who as a series with the nature of Black Mirror is like kind of a very like interesting concept. Sure, there's like one-off episodes that are kind of like that already, but like it seems to be more heavily done this season. And yeah, it's very interesting like that we got two Dr. Light episodes in a row. I feel like the pacing is a little off this season, and Habro uh, uh, he did like a video on like I don't remember which video it was, but he talked about how the pacing's a little off, and apparently episodes were switched around and reorganized, and like I could see I literally just finished it, but yeah, like and I definitely get that vibe from this season. It seems like episodes were planned in a certain order and kind of shuffled around for some reason. Because this episode, like, because it's so Doctor Light until the end, I wouldn't place it right after another incredibly Doctor Light episode if I were like organizing the narrative arc of the season. But yeah, God, like the ending of this episode was just probably probably was like best scene, I guess. Just like the frustration and heartbreak after all he went through throughout this episode. Like God, it was just so it was so good. It was so good. Like that breakdown, like it was so real. It wasn't like a like 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 there was something, but you know what I mean. It was just felt like such a real, like natural, just like snapping moment for him, and like there's not even anything Ruby can say to him. There's nothing you can say. It's just such like such a waste and such a shame. And I will say the social commentary of this episode is pretty over the top. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. It's very on the nose, like what its message is and what its themes are. Like yeah, it is incredibly over the top in that sense. But like it's technically a kid's show, and if they're going to do an episode on like the dangers of social media without being completely 100% explicit, I guess 95% explicit is like the best they can do. um yeah, no, but like I don't know, I just really love this episode. Like I said, there are some holes, like exactly like if the device can just kill you, like why didn't they just do that to start? You know, why they create like bring in these like bug creatures to go do the job for them when they could have? It seems pretty like easily like kill. Like they killed like a very conscious, like very tough like member of their society, like comparatively to the rest, obviously not like overall, pretty quickly within like a minute, I think. So like if they could do that, like why would they even bring these bugs in the first place? It didn't really add up or make sense, but like I understand like the logical jumps you have to make for the sake of the episode, and that's fine. It's Doctor Who. There's going to be like some of those situations, where you just got to make like, okay, I'm just going to make the logical jumps for the sake of enjoying the episode, and it worked really well. I'm like, yeah, like it was interesting that the Doctor and Ruby are both starting to recognize the it's definitely conscious. Like in the past episodes I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a little cool gimmick thing, but it's definitely very conscious that like they're starting to recognize this recurring woman that's been is it Susan Flood or no, Susan Twist or something like that. That's been in like all these episodes, and they're starting to recognize her. And I'm very interesting because I'm thinking Mrs. Flood. Like, if it's not Mrs. Flood's character. Like these are two separate things. So I'm interested to see where this is going. There's a lot of these threads. There's a lot of these recurring threads, and I'm interested to see how they're all connected. Because I think Russell T Davies, like, I have a little confidence that he'll do a good job connecting all these threads. I don't know if all of them are going to be addressed this season, or if some of them are building to next season, but who knows? Um, yeah, God, I'm just still reeling over that like breakdown. That was so fucking good. Probably the 15's best scene so far. It's crazy that I'm saying 15. Like when I was first getting to the show, the newest Doctor was 11. It's crazy that we come like this far. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if I had really anything else to say. Like the performances were so good for what they were supposed to be. It's like obviously they're terrible and like cheesy as fuck, but that's like the point. That's like the point of this society. It Another hole I'm just now realizing is like if those same bugs like ate everyone on the home planet, the whole population, does it mean that they all had Don bubble systems as well, and that the same thing happened there? It's a little unclear, and I feel like Russell is taking me like in his episodes this season has been taking a lot of these logical leaps, especially like last episode 30 hours. There's a lot of logical leaps you have to take in, assumptions you have to fill in that don't quite fully work, but like as much as I loved certain elements of the last episode, even though like it did have a lot of problems, like this is definitely the strongest so far. And yeah, I guess those are my initial thoughts. I can't say I'm really looking forward to the next episode. It just seems like a vibe, and like I don't know, like bird aliens like that. I guess I'll talk about that because it was kind of creeped me out. Ever since I saw Men in Black 2 as a kid, and there was like one shot or one scene with like those type of bird aliens, and I'm just like, oh, it like creeped me out as a kid and gave me nightmares. So like, yeah, I just see the next episode and it like kind of triggers that like it ate like in me, So we'll see when we get to actually talk about that. So, but overall, this was probably my favorite episode of the season so far. I don't know if it'll take that mantle all the way through, but like this was a really strong high tier episode, and it really like captures that like although it hits you over the head, it really brings back that like very biting social commentary that Black Mirror does like incredibly well, but like Doctor Who has done, and although I'm giving a lot of like saying this was definitely Black Mirror influenced, it most definitely was. But Doctor Who has done these kind of stories, like these biting social commentary stories, and I think this one handled it well, albeit incredibly on the nose. Because like I said, like they got to make it not only make sense for adults, but also for kids who are like, if we have to step back and remember, kids are the primary demographic of this show. So like, if you're gonna hit over the head like that, like, I'll give it a pass. It could have been more subtle, but like I said. Anyway, that's about it. I think that's about it for this wrapped up very strong episode. I am not necessarily excited for the next one, but then it's already the finale two-parter after that. I'm very interested to see where all these threads are going because it's getting very close, and I'm wondering if the ending of the next episode will be like a big cliffhanger in that sense, like, oh, we're jumping in. So yeah, that's about it, I think. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. That's it for this video.